the ones you suspect the most. Here in my void, I want to talk to you guys today about Tai Lopez.
Who is that?
Who is roving the streets like a madman after recently he was accused of raising $112 million through fraudulent offerings with his co-founder Alex Mayer and Maya Birkenrode. This is the SEC has now taken a case against Tai Lopez, but he's still ranting about books.
Remember, they can't control you if you read the right books and inform yourself.
Now, let me say, Ty, depending on the outcome here of these allegations, they may be able to control you. I'm just going to be honest with you. It doesn't matter how many books you read. These allegations spell trouble for our boy, the boy from the garage. I don't know if you remember our fresh-faced guy, the reason for the ad block. Here he is right here.
Here in my garage. Just bought this new Lamborghini here.
And I guess now we know how. Of course, later he transitioned to Here in My Backyard. That was kind of the sequel to all of this.
Hey, here in my backyard.
Tai was always known for running these ads, telling people, you got to sign up for his 47 rules for success, the 12 rules for, whatever, sales, the 5 ways to get through life. I mean, he always had something to sell. And for a while, he kind of got away with it. Nobody was really going after him because at the end of the day, when you sell knowledge and you overpromise and underdeliver, people don't get too mad. I mean, people like me would kind of call you a grifter. That's really the worst that's going to happen to you. The problem with Tai was he's one of these guys who went from, trying to sell the fact he's this business savant because he quotes Charlie Munger all the time, to now taking money from people and actually raising money for some businesses that he was going to run. REV was the holding company, and they bought a bunch of distressed assets. You may know Radio Shack, Pier 1, Steinmart, a bunch of companies that went out of business, and Tai bought them up with a bunch of other people's money and said that they were going to raise, basically flip them using e-com, take away the brick and mortar, bring in the great marketing from Tai Lopez. He was going to rant on the streets about, I guess Radio Shack, right? He was going to go around telling you about Dress Barn, from his platforms. And I guess it's kind of a plausible idea. The problem was they lied to investors along the way, at least if you believe the SEC's allegations, which claims that Tai and Alex Mayer made misrepresentations and omitted to state material facts, specifically about the profitability. They were saying their portfolio companies were on fire and cash flow is strong, which, depending on what you mean by on fire, maybe that was actually true because these companies were burning through cash. Meanwhile, they were raising money from investors, mostly through a combination of debt and sometimes equity. And when things were falling apart, at least $5.9 million of those returns that were supposedly distributed to investors, like the payback for the loans, were in reality what they call Ponzi-like payments funded by other investors. In addition, Tai Lopez and Alexander Mayer apparently misappropriated approximately $16.1 million in investor funds, which were diverted for their personal use. They're using it for personal, spending, I guess.
Just bought this new Lamborghini here.
According to the SEC, according to their allegations. Of course, they're going to have a chance to defend themselves. But I have to say, guys, we have to do better than this. If this guy is selling you something,
this guy got
saying he's going to turn it all around after years of just bombarding you with grifter ads, I have to tell you we're in trouble. But I also want to say, if you are a grifter and you want to go out there, I have to warn you, do not lie to your investors. They will eventually catch you. I actually spoke to somebody who basically talked about his experience with Tai Lopez. The worst part about it by far were all the lies and omissions. They kind of say like, hey, look, I get that businesses fail, but specifically they were dealing with Maya and getting paid back some of their funds. This was at a time where it was not admitted that these companies were doing very poorly. They were saying, oh, we're doing so great. We're doing so awesome. And so Maya was behind the scenes promising to pay this guy back his wire and literally sending, according to him, confirmations of the wire transfer while not actually sending the money. And if you guys don't know, that can be, there can be some criminal liability there sometimes. So, incredibly serious accusations. I'll let him tell it.
My name is Jared Getz. I've known of Tai for, obviously many years. He was always, the biggest internet marketer out there. I mean, the deal was great. It was, 20% returns on your money for 2 years. And then there was supposed to be a return of capital after 2 years and a balloon payment of 40% paid with your principal returned. And so, I threw in, I think it was like $275,000 or something like that. And, and they were paying back,
That sounds like a
monthly
SPAC
interest
deal.
payments, and things were going really well. And then right around the time when the principal was due, and I'm a very like easygoing, reasonable person. Right around the time the principal was due, Maya reached out and she was like, hey, is it cool if we postpone your payment for like 2 weeks? We're just getting things in order. And, they sent a test wire and I got the test wire and they said, okay, cool. We sent your wire. And, a day goes by, I didn't get it. 2 days go by, I didn't get it. 3 days, didn't get it. Hey, Maya, I didn't get the wire. Cool. Let me look into it for you. Let me figure out what's going on. About a week later, hey, sorry, Jared, there was an issue with the bank. We're going to have to try this again. Let me know if you got
Oh,
this other
scam.
test wire. So next day I get another like $50 wire. Yeah, got it. No problem. Great. All right, cool. I'm going to send the rest of it. Of course, I don't get the wire. I don't hear from them for a few days. And then they said they sent the wire again, and I didn't get it. And then I started getting ghosted. And that's when I was like, and to be honest, I'm not the type of person that like, I get it. Investing, you sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But when there's lies and deception and complete and utter disrespect, that's where things start to get hairy. And so I would, start to get ghosted for a little bit longer and longer until it was like, hey, what's going on with this? And it got to a point where she sent me a screenshot. Hey, the wire got sent out. And I'm like, okay, well, if I got a screenshot of a wire and then I didn't get the wire, of course. And then I got ghosted for like about a month. And at that point I'm like, hey, like, at this point it's just rude. Like, can you at least just be on, like, just tell me what's going on? And then I finally hear back from her like a little bit over a month later, and she's like, sorry, I was traveling. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're traveling? Like, what does that mean to me? And then, we start talking again. And the last message I heard was like, hey, sorry. I think it was her dad. She's like, hey, sorry, my dad died or something. And then I just got completely ghosted from there.
Really?
And at this point, like, they had set up these
Playing
WhatsApp
emotional card?
communities with all the investors, which at first it was all this camaraderie and everyone's like, hyping each other up. And then people start getting a little bit weirded out that, and you start to see other people aren't getting their money. And then finally, I don't remember the timeline exactly. It was probably about 6 months later that that we heard that they're going to have to file for bankruptcy.
Now, that's just the short version of the story, but after this, Jared and others went and they basically reported these guys. And of course, now there are charges, at least with the Securities and Exchange Commission. And I think it's good. I don't think you should be able to raise $100 million with various false statements, omissions, misstatements, and you get away with it, especially on the back of your social media profile. Now, if you're wondering what's going on with Ty now that he has gotten these allegations against them, it's not going well. He's still hawking things. This is his Ty Lopez vlog. He wants you to text him a private number and he's gonna, potentially sell you on something. But this is just a few days ago. He's talking about the malicious actors that are trying to take you down. It very much feels like, vague posting about what he's actually going through.
And make no mistake, we live in a world where you're trying to be controlled, both maliciously by people and indirectly. There's groups of people that are trying to control you that don't necessarily wake up in the morning and say they want to ruin your life, but the structure of the system is built to control you.
Really? Is the structure of that system a three-letter word? Is it called the SEC? Now, I only say that because, as well as going through that, he also brought on Trevor Milton, who famously got pardoned by Trump after, the whole FBI, indictment and later charges, and he was going to pay back victims until he got pardoned by Trump. And later, the SEC dropped their case as well because obviously he's pardoned now. But it's interesting to watch Ty Lopez really, love this guy for his message.
This trophy hunting, it's unfair that people, like, for example, Elon Musk has had a run-in with the SEC.
Yeah,
he had
huge.
a big one. And he says, I saw a recent article where Elon said, If I knew what I knew now, I would not have settled. He took a settle. He settled and had to pay a fine, had to step down from being the, on the board of directors of Tesla. And it happened again. He's got a thing now.
Yep.
And he just said, I'm not going to. I saw the SEC, he wouldn't come on the interviews. He's like, I'm done. You've asked me enough questions. And it's clearly a trophy hunting case. In your experiences,
I've never met you before. I've never met him. Never once ever spoken to you until today, until I got invited on. It's amazing that so many people have had to come to that same realization mentally. What a special thing. Like, everyone had to go through their battle.
Yes.
I honestly thought it was something unique to what I went through. And now I'm hearing it's coming from you and him and others. Like, well, it actually makes me feel better about my situation, knowing I'm not crazy.
Yeah. This universe took, but it can also just give back. Donald Trump calls you. It's over. You're pardoned.
Dude, it is wild.
You can almost see Ty hoping for that call himself. Now, look, again, I've talked to some of the investors who've gone through this. It's been horrible trying to get their money back. But also, guys, protect yourself. When somebody grifts and grifts and grifts, do not trust them with your money, please. Ty is still trying to sell stuff to people. He's still trying to push people into stuff. I even got leaked one of Ty's frameworks, and at the bottom of the whole framework is the 3-pillar close, where, just so you guys know, they say if they can't afford it, you first see if they can afford it on a credit or debit card, and if not, we discuss finance options with Klarna, PayPal Credit, or Elective. So this is the kind of guy you're dealing with. Putting your course on Klarna, I don't know what to say. Really bad stuff. Now, I gave Ty an opportunity to respond to the allegations the SEC made. He did not reply. If he does, I will pin it. Okay, that's basically it. Thanks for watching.
I'm impressed the guy is still not in jail. Like, what?